so I don't need to hear any Richie in the background. All right, y'all. I don't need to hear Richie back there like, ha ha, like cackling, cackling. Richie, what's funny? Okay.
He's like the the member that no one knows exists.
He's the executive producer.
Mhm.
Hey, Mitchell. Hey there, Mitchy
Mitchell.
baby.
Okay, I
Okay.
went back and posted links.
Okay. Okay. Good call. All right. So here's the deal. I came back from New York Comic Con with a little bug because, of course, I did.
Of course you did.
Because you're
Oh my
just
gosh.
around a bajillion people and around a bunch of germs you've never been around from across the country. so, so I'm just tired. I have like a cough, no other symptoms. Cough and just sleepy. What? Lois is here. What? Lois.
Lois.
Lois, have you watched Found? I'm so excited if you have. Um,
Right?
so I'm just tired. I'm just tired. So I don't want to be here super long.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I just want to be in bed scrolling on TikTok. Um,
She watched it.
Lois, yes. Okay, good. Good. All right, good. I'm glad. Okay. So anyway, let's start this whole shindig, shall we? I'm Punky Brewster, and that's my intro because I am too lazy to come up with anything better. I'm joined by Takira, aka Tashiyama, aka Connie Dixon for life, and and good luck following us on social media because it's just a
Yeah,
cluster.
yeah, it's a hot mess.
Good luck. Good luck. I may mute myself on occasion because of the coughing, so I apologize in advance. But anyway, um, look down in the description if you're interested in following us anywhere because we're on Kofi and everything's on there.
Yeah.
So there's that. Um, if you want to really do me a favor right now, and I'm gonna be a tool and say click that like button and also subscribe if you're not subscribed because your girl needs some traction. Okay, I have I've been working hard. Let me tell you, I've been working hard, and I went to New York Comic Con and attended a professional industry summit. I've been working hard. Your girl ate well, they were excellent tacos, but your girl ate excellent tacos on very tiny plates with strangers to try to better this channel. Guess what? Surprise. That summit wasn't for me. So so I don't know what else to do. But anyway, um I learned zero. I learned zilch while I was there. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm trying to make it go with this, okay? I'm trying to make it go with this. So like, subscribe. I'm all right. Anyway, um, so we're gonna discuss the third episode of the first season of Found. I almost called it Finding Found, but that's the name of our show. Um, and so yeah, so it aired. Lois, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will keep doing what I'm doing, but self-deprecation is like my thing. So
Mhm.
that's gonna be there too. Anyway, um, this aired yesterday evening at 10 p.m. The time slot for no one. I'm gonna continually complain about this time slot. It's too late.
I'm
It's
lucky
too
because
late.
it's 9 for me.
I know because you're Central Time. Even, but here's the thing: when I lived in Central Time, do don't you have to get up earlier for work? I used to have to go to work at 8. I didn't
Yeah,
work at
but
9, I worked at 8. So it was like it's like everything is shifted up for you.
I just have to open my laptop when I get up in the morning.
See, I wish. I have to go physically to work.
Mhm.
I wish that I could just roll out of bed in some PJs, deal with some business, but I can't. Um, yes. So the time slot for no one. It's a young man's game. Watching Found, but Takira told everybody on Twitter that I was going to be live tweeting, so I stayed up. So I did stay up to do that because otherwise she was going to make me out to be a liar. So, you know what I mean? She'd be like filching my subscribers. She'd be like, see, she said she was going to be live tweeting. She's not even live tweeting. So
I
she's
always
like, who
forget.
who you should follow? The ones who talk. And that's what she'd be telling everybody. I'm just playing. Takira does have her own YouTube channel. She should plug it more often. I'm just teasing. Um, it's in progress right now. It's under construction at the moment. While
We are going to do just an overall season 1 review of Daryl Dixon.
okay, great. I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Was there were some personal issues for her co-host, so it's been taking a little bit longer to get off the ground than I think both of them anticipated. But I'm hopeful you guys can get it going soon here before its spooky season is over. Um, oh, that was sweet of you, Mitchell. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, Mitchell.
So this episode,
Mm,
a lot of things here.
lots of things.
I was retweeted by NBC Found.
Me too.
What's happening? I was like, oh, they finally know. We're
I was
we're
like,
two of 20 people who are tweeting them. Just
mhm, mhm.
retweet us, will you? Um,
This week there were a lot more tweeters.
there were, so I'm
Yeah.
hopeful for the show. I think it's kind of taken off here a little bit.
Mhm.
You know, we'll just keep mentioning it's like Shonda Rhimes wrote it.
It really is.
She didn't. Might as well have. How I feel about it. You know what? In my delirium, I did not look up who wrote or directed this.
Oh, yeah,
So
because it's actually different
I
writers
thought
for
it
this
switched. I thought it
episode.
switched for this one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Janessa. Hey,
Hey.
girl. Um, there were lots more folks tweet. There really
Yes, there
were.
were.
There really were. And NBC Found was like behind, like on the retweeting.
They were.
I was like, is my TV like ahead of everyone else's? What's going on here? Was There was a little bit of a delay. A little bit of a delay. Okay, same here. Same with Domain Davis again.
Demain retweeted me this week too.
Oh, look at you, hot shot.
So episode 3 was written by Cameron Johnson,
Okay.
different from episode 1 and 2.
Okay.
That was
Yes.
written
Because that was
by
written by the show's creator.
yes.
Yes, correct. Okay. All right, great. I thought episode 3 was different. So, excellent. Chanessa, are you the one who said you were going to have a live breakdown? Because you were cracking me up last night and it was far too late. I have lived to regret it today. I'm exhausted and it's because I stayed up late tweeting with you guys instead of going to bed like I should have.
Listen, I was making notes for this episode, crying. That's how this
Okay.
episode was. It
Okay.
was ridiculous. It was
All right. So
ridiculous.
Janessa's here. Janessa is here to have a live breakdown in during our episode breakdown. An emotional breakdown though. Emotional or mental. I'm not maybe both. So so okay. So last night's episode, Missing While Widowed,
Ugh,
revolved around a sweet old man named Reg. And he went missing and he had the world's worst relative,
oh my!
in
I
my
was
opinion.
so pissed off at this girl.
Not her arguing with the doorman though. Like, girl, who you trying to show out in front of? I was like, what is happening right now? The doorman is correcting you. Like, just reel it in. You know what I mean? Like the doorman is correcting you. So just take it down a notch, okay? So we did also get quite a bit more insight into Margaret's story, which I loved.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh my goodness.
We also got a bit of a weird interaction between Sir and Gabby. So there was less Sir and Gabby this episode because we were just going off into the Margaret story,
Mhm.
which is fine because last week's episode we got more of the Zeke story,
Yeah.
but they did balance it with Sir. So someone did tweet last night that they felt like they were doing a really good job of balancing like the once a week procedural with the overarching character arcs. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty accurate statement. It doesn't feel like we're losing out on the week to week story.
Right.
That felt fleshed out. I think it was pretty solvable this time.
I was not worried about Reggie, like
This time,
not one bit.
so that's the thing. I think they're gonna hit us with one soon where it
Oh, me
doesn't go
too.
so well
Mhm.
because I think they can't set the precedent of like everybody's rescued. It's not
Right.
realistic. Um, and you're gonna lose like audience retention if you're just doing the same thing over and over again. So
Mhm.
I think we will see something a little bit sadder probably coming up soon. Mitchell says, finding out that Margaret waits for her son every day for 13 years really broke me. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we saw that in the last episode, right? That she goes to the
Mhm.
train station at night and she watches for him. I didn't know she did it every night. Woman, you don't sleep in your own bed? You sleep in
I
the
don't
chair?
yeah. I
Because
figured
that
that out like last week. I forgot why.
well, that woman knew her, but the person who worked at the train depot because she brought her
Mhm.
coffee. So I figured, well, yeah, she does it frequently, but I didn't think every single night. That's so much. That's just so
It makes
much.
me wonder, like, does she actually live somewhere?
Well, she would have gone home to shower. She mentions that, like, she didn't get to go home to shower. She had to
Okay.
meet Gabby at Reggie's apartment so that they could go back over the apartment again because, they've both been off the day previously. So she does. Um, the one thing that I did really want to mention was the thing with the emancipation. Maybe I'm crazy. Call me crazy. But okay, so here's my question about this. So, oh, Chinasa, good catch. She said
Yep,
because
that's
she said
exactly why.
to Don, you don't judge me for going to the train station every night. Yeah, good call. Good call. I was oblivious to that. Apparently, I just meant I was like, yeah, but not every night. Um, but it is. Um, so, um, so the emancipation thing. Her daughter is over the age of 18 or freshly 18 because she's going to college, right? Because she's looking for financial aid. Which
Yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, I was going to
Or maybe
college
she's
at
like 17.
17.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
I
she's
was
17.
17.
Here's the thing. Let's say she gets emancipated. She's about to be an adult anyway. So who cares? I was a little like I'm like maybe I'm not seeing the whole picture. What are the other consequences of it? Like other than the emotional consequences. I'm not talking about like emotionally what this does to Margaret, but just like because if Margaret signs off on it and Taylor, was that her name? I think
Let
it
me
was
see if
Taylor.
I wrote her name down.
I think it was Taylor. Taylor, she becomes emancipated and she goes to college. Well, she's about to be 18 anyway. So it's not like Margaret would have a say in what she can and can't do legally. So I was a little
I f-
confused as to why Lacey like I mean, she was trying to defend Margaret. I get it. Hold on. I am sorry, y'all. This is gonna keep happening. Um, so I get why Lacey was kind of like wedging herself in there for that reason, but she was like, you have to be aware of the full consequences or the ramifications of this. And I was like, okay, but if we're not looking like what are the legal ramifications of this?
So, um, I think they shouldn't have put the word emancipated in there, first of all. I don't think that was the correct word to use. The thing is, when your kid goes to college, in certain ways, they still are looked at as like a kid, like they could still be on your health insurance and that like you still get certain like certain things is looked at them almost like they're
Okay.
still a minor, if that
Okay.
makes
I can see that.
sense.
I can see that. But like here Margaret isn't caring for her.
Right,
She's not the full guardian. So that's why a lot of this was confusing to me because I'm like, yeah, but you do have a father.
right.
And if he has sole guardianship of you, which I'm guessing he does, he's probably custodian because he took custody of the kids away from Margaret. Now I don't know. Maybe he was like, I'm just going to take the kids, and she was understanding about it, so it didn't need to be like a
Mhm.
custody battle or anything. But if so, maybe they didn't even apply for it. But either way, like this was really unusual to me because
It could
what's
have
your because
been
emancipating from just your mom doesn't change your financial aid status.
it could, because they
Not if
could
your mom
say
isn't your
right,
guardian.
if it's not on paper in a certain way, like it could be a situation where she needs a bit more money, but they want her to apply for a parent loan before applying for a certain other thing because they're like, well, we don't see anything saying that your mother can't apply for a loan for you.
Okay. Okay. I could see that. That seems like an overstep, in my opinion,
Yeah.
of both the federal government and a school.
Mhm.
But let's not get political. That's just what. But okay. Anyway, I'm not a lawyer. What do I know? But that seems weird. Um,
Yeah.
so I was just like, what does this matter? so, so I was kind of like, it makes sense that you would sign off on it.
Yeah.
I get her initial like knee jerk reaction because she walked in and she's like, "What's up, mom? I don't want you to be my mom anymore." And
Mother anymore.
I'm gonna say it in front of everyone.
And then in the next scene, I'm gonna say, "Well, I wasn't trying to embarrass you in front of your coworkers."
I was like, "What is this girl's problem?"
What?
You know what? This is like when I was at the grocery store when I was a kid, and back in the day at the Food Lion. On the end of the carts they used to have those ads. Do you remember like the end of
Oh
your cart would have like,
yeah.
okay, so there would be ads, and for some reason they decided it was a great idea to put ads for CPS on the on the ends of the carts. So that's how my brother and I learned about child protective services. And so you bet when we were mad, we would yell in the store, if
Ah,
you don't stop spanking me, I'm going to tell someone and they're going to take me to child protective services. And you got whooped twice as hard when you did that. But
I was in a household that probably would have responded, "Well, here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna beat you, and then I'm gonna call them for you and tell them to come get you."
so that's kind of what it reminded me of. The like, well, I'll tell someone and they'll call child protective
Yeah.
services. And then I'll get taken away from my mom because right now that's what I'm telling you I want, even though that's not at all what I want. Like that's what it reminded me of. Just like announcing out loud this ridiculous, just not great thing. But anyway, I digress.
What I didn't like about it was like at first I was like completely understanding with the situation and the husband taking custody and all that because she just couldn't like be there mentally.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then I was like, okay, so wait, so nobody talked to the kids because then she's like, well, you know, basically like she moved on, and I'm like, why would she think that? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, that was it was all very weird. Like I was like, what's happening here? Like is because you're saying that your ex-husband Daryl isn't a jerk,
right.
but this leads me to believe that maybe he is. Is he a jerk? I don't know. Also, it was like I mean, this caught me off guard that she had other kids.
Yeah. And
Um
then
this caught
other
me really off
kids,
guard.
like plural. I wrote in my notes,
Yes.
kids, plural?
Yeah. Yeah, she's got more than one. Um I get it. I can't imagine losing a child and then being able to just like carry on. But your not jerk ex-husband, he didn't like it, he didn't like tell the kids like, well, mom is like having a really hard time.
Right.
Or like, hey, why don't we get you some help? He's like, peace. You're too
Because
sad
I
for
feel
me.
like there's no way that she wasn't sleeping at the bus station back then too, or not
Oh,
sleeping at the bus
well,
station.
she says she has every day for 13 years.
Yeah.
This happened.
So,
Yeah, he took the kids or whatever like 2 or 3 years into all of this.
mhm. So I'm
Which
like,
okay, now there are I will say there are startling statistics on families that lose a child. They almost never stay together. And like I don't know what the rate is based on like if they're missing and not actually proclaimed dead, but like children like a family who has a child die, the
mhm,
statistic on them staying together is like really 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 low. They almost always end up breaking up, which is like super sad
mhm,
because not only did you lose your child, but now you've lost your partner. That's just devastating. But Janessa says, yeah, it sounds like she went no contact with her kids, which I mean, I guess I get that, but like if Daryl's not a jerk, why didn't he say anything?
mhm.
I don't know. I just feel like Daryl's a jerk. I don't
I just feel like
know why.
whatever he did was way more hurtful for her kids because if he would have sat down and just talked to them and been like
Mhm,
mom's having a very hard time with this. She can't move past it and someone still needs to take care of you.
mhm.
Like
I mean,
kids understand.
there would still be issues, because it
Mhm.
would be like,
Yeah.
why can't she? I'm still here. Why isn't that enough? Why am I not
Mhm.
enough? It becomes like a whole thing. But it wouldn't be any worse than what's happening
Yeah.
now. So, because I thought it was interesting that Taylor, did you confirm that that was her name? I just keep going.
Oh.
Anyway, that Taylor, that I don't know, maybe her name isn't Taylor, but we're gonna go with Taylor. That she did sit down afterwards and stay with her at the train
Mhm.
station. I thought that was interesting. Um, and that she just wanted to know what it was like just for the day. And I was kind of like, I know he was your brother though.
Yeah.
I get like you've lived a whole life since then because you're a kid when it happened, but that was still your brother.
I mean, I guess like she was probably what 4 or 5. So,
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you would remember him.
yeah, you would definitely remember him. Like I don't know. That is definitely a very weird situation because it's just like, why does it seem like they don't know or understand a
I'm
lot of the
interested to
things
see if this leads to anything else. Like, do we see the other kid? You know what I mean? Like, because it's not too late to repair your relationship. I don't think. But
Taylor Reed. Yep,
I
Taylor.
get, I get what it is. I get how it is with teenagers, right? Like when I was a teenager and my dad and I lost touch,
Mhm.
I wasn't having it. I wasn't having it for 11 years. But it's not too late to reconcile. Like, I don't think this has
Mhm.
to be a sad story forever. But I'm interested to see if we find out anything else about the rest of her family or if we're just going to kind of leave it at that. Um,
Sorry, I was looking up cast members.
okay, so that's really Margaret's story. That's her whole tale going on. We hear really nothing from Don this week,
Yeah, no,
like
just
just
that
a
he's
handful of
pissed
lines.
off.
Same thing with Zeke. Now we did see a little bit of Don opening up to Zeke, which was interesting.
Mhm.
So clearly, this last episode prior to this, excuse me, guys, this last episode prior to this, we are getting a little bit of connection after Don was therapied by his potential predator partner, and and the whole interaction with Zeke at his apartment where he kind of discovers what's going on, and then finds out why the package was so important that he received,
Mhm.
and kind of got a little more insight on what was going on there. So I did like the level of continuity that Zeke had a bandage
Yeah.
on his forehead. I was like, okay, so that gives you like kind of a time reference to like how long has gone by. Now, we do get that very small bit of storyline with Gabby and Sir involving Lacey. And that was that was interesting too in its own right. Um
I
go
just
on,
didn't
go off, go
understand.
off.
I wrote, "Why are you engaging in conversation with this idiot? Why are you asking him questions? Why? Why?" Like, you just completely set yourself up for what you should have known he was going to do the whole time, when all she actually had to do was open up to the person that's been next to her since it happened, and she would have figured it out.
Yes, but you're forgetting she's unhinged. She is unhinged.
I was so frustrated with her for this, like, entire episode.
It was it was disheartening, I felt like, if anything. Um, because she's been pictured as this really strong, like tough as nails character. I
Mhm.
get that. Of course, there's going to be a vulnerable side. She went through huge trauma. So, of course, there's a vulnerable side. But just to see her so quickly become victim to that. But I think it really speaks to the relationship that Sir cultivated over that year.
Mhm.
Um, it it's this does not bode well. This does not bode well. This is gonna be big
I
bad.
just
Big bad.
I see him getting out. I just see him getting out, and I see
Mm.
all hell breaking loose,
Well, especially
and
now, because he is
y
mad.
pissed.
His
Woo!
face at the end of the episode when she took
I feel
everything
like
away from him. Oh,
mhm.
yes, Janessa. He found a weak
Yes.
spot and pounced. You are correct. That is exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. He did. He really was trying, and he was trying to wedge his way like into that. Um, yeah, her her response was appropriate, but here's the thing: nothing about this relationship is appropriate.
Right.
He's literally locked in her basement. So, like, even though that seems like an appropriate response, it's still like, oh no, it's still crazy because he's in your basement. Like, so it's just this does not bode well. Something's gonna happen. Something is gonna happen because now your man don't have his books to be distracting him. So
Mhm.
now he's gonna be focused on getting out.
Mhm. And now she got people coming in and out of her freaking apartment all
I
the time.
know. I
I'm
know.
like,
I was like,
"What
what are
is"
you doing?
She didn't think anything through, like, none of it.
You don't hold him at your own house. No. What? No. Somewhere else.
And I'm like, so that means that like she literally never has her closest friends at her
Mm-mm,
house.
never. Well, you heard him. Okay, because this is how like crazy Sir is too. When Detective Trent came over in the first episode, he was all like, "Who was that?" I was like, "Really, bruh? You're jealous?
Mhm.
Jealous because someone was upstairs? And because it was a man.
Mhm.
It was a man. So that's what he was upset about. But I don't know. It makes me feel really nervous. It makes me feel very, very nervous.
Like, I don't know, just her falling for that immediately I just imagined like, "Oh, he's gonna get out soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt
She's
like that
gonna
was.
slip something." Yeah,
Yep.
he's gonna get out.
All I kept thinking of is when she was giving him files, like, what if there's paper clips in the files?
I
That's what I kept thinking
like,
about.
the fact that she's always throwing it and it doesn't, like, spread all over the place makes me feel like there's
That's what I'm
definitely
saying.
paper clips.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe got a little paper clip in there. I don't know.
I feel like every week we're gonna be like, "Mark, Paul, like,
Mark Paul, how dare you?
what is happening?"
Oh, Chinesa. What are the odds he gets out,
Oh.
grabs her, and takes her back to the cabin? Ooh.
And you know, I think worse than that is gonna happen because she's been keeping this a secret. I think he's gonna get out, grab Lacey, and take her to the cabin.
Oh. That would be a really good ending to the season.
Mhm,
That would be really good. Sad, but that would be good because that would be your cliffhanger then. Is that she
mhm.
goes to find Lacey to explain to her why she kept Sir in her basement, and then Lacey's gone. Bam, we just wrote the ending of the show. Knocked it out of the
And
park.
then that's gonna be the first case of season 2.
Knocked it out of the park. Absolutely. We just wrote it. Lois says, I feel like she is deceiving. Gabby?
This even Lacey?
100%. 100%.
Mhm.
We talked about this a lot in the last episode because that was when it was uncovered that Lacey does not know that Gabby has Sir in the basement and how upsetting of a realization that was.
Yes.
Because Lacey's out here feeling really nervous. That cliffhanger would kill me. Janessa would be having breakdowns daily. If that were the cliffhanger. Well, okay, so here's the thing, Janessa. If that's what happens, we'll be bringing Lacey back for the second season. So don't,
Mhm.
in our plan, in our grand plan for this show, we'll bring her back. We'll bring her back.
That's true, Lois.
Oh,
Everyone thinks she's the
yeah.
genius, but he's finding the
He is
people.
finding the people. Yeah, Lois, that's correct because what were the odds that anybody would have heard that secondary wheezing in the come on. What is the man a
I
dog
wrote
now?
I was like, "This fool is." You know what? I'm sick of him because his intelligence level and insanity is just peak, and he's getting on my
I
nerves.
know. Well, I mean, we knew that right from the beginning, right? Like
Yeah.
the conversations he's trying to cultivate with Gabby and create and script and the topics that he's referring to and the books that he reads, like he's educated.
Okay, I've been avoiding something, and I'm just gonna come out and ask the
All right,
question.
all right.
Why black girls?
I don't know.
I
I
just
don't know.
keep wondering, like, is there more to that part of
It
the
I mean,
story?
it could be a preference. It could have something to do with his childhood. There's no telling. I mean, you've
Mhm,
watched true crime. God only knows. Like sometimes there's no
mhm.
reason and you're like that doesn't make any sense. Sometimes there's a profile that they fit and there's a reason behind it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um so There could be. I mean, there could be. We won't know though. It's just like we won't know until more is uncovered. I don't know if he picked Gabby
Out
because he thought that she was smart. Maybe they interacted before he took her. We just don't know.
Also, he said something in this episode that made me go off on a whole other tangent of, are we going to find out his other crimes? Because him knowing how much of an amateur this person was let me know that he has done this
Oh,
multiple
yeah,
times.
sure. I know. Yeah, that would be interesting to find out his story. I know he's really for me, he's the intriguing piece of this,
Mhm.
right? Like this is the reason that I keep coming back cuz I'm like, yeah, the stories of the week they're fine. But like this is really what I'm coming back
That
for.
yeah. They're just showing us every week that he's super intelligent and manipulative and
Mhm.
sly and cunning and everything that a bad guy shouldn't be.
Well, you want your criminals to be stupid so you can catch them, but that's
Exactly.
not so much the case for this guy. Um Genesis said yes, he made a comment about his first time but didn't clarify if that was Gabby. Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
So there could be like a murder victim under this whole thing too.
That's what I'm thinking.
That could also
Mhm.
be another piece to this, they could have a family who, it could be like a cold case coming like we've looked high and low for 20 years, we've waited and never been able to find our daughter and can you look for her? And like maybe
Mhm.
that ends up being like his first victim or whatever. I don't know. The possibilities are endless.
Endless.
Honestly, they should hire us. We're great at this. Lois says the example of that is because they were looking for the white kids before the black kids. They brought that to light when the two girls were taken from the park. Yes.
That's true. And when other crimes are committed, people actually the criminals tend to like be happy about the fact that they know, well, if we do harm to a black person, they're not going to try as hard to look for us, or you know what I mean? If we take a black kid, they probably won't look as hard.
Mhm.
I've seen it on true
Well,
crime
it
like
has a lot
so
to do
many
with
times.
like the area, right? That you take the child from.
Mhm.
Like that's why a lot of the time these kids that go missing that end up in traffic, like trafficking situations,
Mhm.
are taken from like areas where kids run away a lot, low income
Yeah.
housing, you know, big like bad slum areas of big cities. Like that's why.
Mhm.
Um, because they can get away with it essentially, which
Yeah.
it's really it's honestly it's super sad. And it's not just happening here, unfortunately. It's happening in every country across the world, which is
Mhm.
really upsetting. Um, Mitchell does propose a pretty good question. And we did talk about this last week, but maybe we should reevaluate now because we have a little bit more information. So, off of what we've seen, who is everyone's character? So, feel free to chime in the chat. Takira, who is it? Who is it this week?
So the funny thing is, I answered NBC last
I
night
did too.
with
I did too with the
a
poll.
a
Yeah.
person, and then I said a certain person was second, and then after I watched the episode again, that's now reversed.
Okay.
So Lacey is my favorite,
Okay.
and Margaret has slipped to second.
Okay. 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 I think, okay, this may be controversial. I'm going to go with Zeke still.
Oh no, that's not
I love
controversial.
Zeke. I just love Zeke. I love Zeke. I love Lacey. I love Margaret. They're easily my favorite, probably maybe in that order.
Yeah.
So, but Zeke is still my favorite. I'm gonna stick with him for a little while yet. I don't know what's gonna happen there. I just love him. Janessa says I don't know about favorite, but Sir is the most intriguing. Heck
Yes, he
yes,
is.
yes he is.
So I guess I'm a little, actually, I can't even say that. I was gonna say I'm a little biased because I really love the actress that plays. Lacey, and I'm so angry that I don't know her name off the top of my
Well,
head
while
right
you're
now.
looking at that, Mitchell says he loves Zeke too. He's adorable, and Margaret. It's hard not to love
Hmm.
Margaret. Really is.
Gabrielle Walsh is her name.
Gabrielle Walsh. The actress who plays Margaret, don't remember her name, which this is sad because
She is
I knew her.
fantastic, though.
She was in a show called Lie to Me, and if you haven't watched Lie to Me, I just need you
I love
guys.
Lie to
I
Me.
need you guys to go watch it. Mitchell, have you seen Lie to Me? Because that show is incredible. It's so good. She is like the main supporting actress in it. It's awesome. It's so good.
So Gabrielle has been in The Vampire Diaries, which is probably why I know her, but also
Oh, okay.
she was in 5 episodes of Shameless,
Oh,
which I
interesting.
find very interesting. Yeah.
Okay, Mitchell says he hasn't seen Lie to Me, so I need Mitchell pronto, buddy. I need you to go. It's
Yes,
so good. It's so good. It's gonna open up your eyes to
it's
so many things.
fantastic.
It's awesome. And
And it
Chanessa
should
says
still be on
Lacey is
Hulu,
named Gabby in real life. That must be confusing for real.
right?
as as Takira was just talking, I was like, "What?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Uh,
Yeah, it was
Kelly
on Netflix.
Williams
I
is
don't have Netflix
Margaret's real
anymore though.
name.
Kelly Williams. Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
Y'all need to
And
watch
she was
Clarice. It's
also
13 episodes. Where's
in.
Clarice?
Oh, I like Clarice. I feel, is that a Paramount Plus one?
I don't know. I won't watch
I don't
anything on
remember.
Netflix, you guys. I canceled it. I got real salty about the not letting
Yeah, I
me
don't have mine
share the
either.
password anymore. I had to cut it. Anyway, so
Mine is
we haven't
gone.
spent much time talking about Reggie. So I feel like we need to talk a little bit about Reg.
Yes. Okay.
Good old Reg. Not a ton of time because we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon here, but I just wanted to talk about world's creepiest banker, Julian. Um, one. Okay, here's the thing. Sometimes we watch TV shows and you're like, that's not accurate. That's not how real life is. And I had one of those moments big time yesterday. I worked for a very well-known national bank franchise for a few years, and I did work as a personal banker. Yeah, if somebody walked in and was asking me questions like that, doesn't matter if I know them from the news, I would not be allowed to share anything with them at all, remotely, at
Mhm.
all. So what he shared was way inappropriate. Super inappropriate. One, she's not a cop. Two, she didn't provide you with any paperwork. That's the other thing. Like even if a cop had come in and been like, "I need this information," he has to provide me with a warrant or a subpoena, and then I would have to send that in to corporate for corporate's lawyers to look at. Like I can't do jack. So the fact that he was just like, "Yeah," I was like, "No."
I was
Sus. Right out the
kind
gate.
of
Sus.
wondering, yeah, I was like wondering, are they portraying him like this so that we'll know that like he's corrupt? Because
I don't know because here's the thing. Okay, I bank at a credit union. Okay, love credit unions. They do great things. But I used to have people come tell me all the time, the bank, like when I'd be like, "Well, I can't do that without you here," or they'd call and be like, "Well, I need to do this," and I'd be like, I can't, I can't help you take out a loan over the phone." It's like not appropriate. You have to come in. They'd be like, "Well, I've done it at the credit union." So that was all I could think when this guy was just blabbing away. I'm like, "Bro, where's a credit union?" It's like all I could think. It was all I could think of. Just it really bugged me. Okay, hold on. Mitchell says that the 3 seasons of Lie to Me is available on Disney Plus for me. So I added to my list.
Oh,
Excellent. Oh yeah,
nice.
because he's in Canada.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so different sitch there. Also, Donna is married to his therapist until they say otherwise. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm saying I'm saying he married his therapist, and it seems pretty inappropriate to me. Genesis says he saw an opportunity to throw them off the trail. Yes, he did. He did.
Oh, yes.
But
Yeah.
he did it as though he was a credit union employee. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. It was just one of those things. It was like one of those things that always happen. Like people would just always be like, "Well, they let me do it at the credit union." Okay. Well, they have no. What is it like the Wild West at credit unions? Like they have no laws or rules. They're just like whatever you want. We'll we got loans over the phone. You know what? I'll prep your cash for you before you even get here. $10,000 in cash, you've got it, bud. Like no, like this is so it was all so inappropriate. So like that's immediately what I thought of. Two, when they were like, "Can we see the footage?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "You just blabbed so much information. You're worried about the footage? Like super sus, dude. You're so suspect right now." How? It was so that was the instant that I was like, "It's him. It's him. It's him. It's nobody else but him." And then I was like, "Well, maybe he's the red herring." Because then they were like, "No, it's the niece."
Right.
But it
She was
wasn't.
acting a little
I
weird, but
mean,
no.
she's a horrible relative.
Yeah.
"Keep your hands off my damn money," he said. I cracked up at that. This good old Reg, "Keep your hands off my damn money." Got me.
I
Got me.
I wasn't like super worried about Reggie once he called his niece, then
I hated that. I hated that.
I hated how he sounded, but I was like, he's alive. Gabby's gonna find him.
All right.
Immediately. I was like,
Here's another reason why Julian's an idiot, okay? He's horrible at this. He's a moron. He's just straight up idiot. One, the whole thing at the bank. Two, are you trying to flirt with I don't know what's happening. Anyway, three, you have this man call his niece and be like, "Just stop texting me." That is not normal. That is not normal. In no situation. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, okay, let's say I was just like tired of talking to Takira. And so I just sent her I just sent her I called her. I didn't send her a text message. I call her to be like, "You've got to stop texting me. I'm tired." Wouldn't that be like the weirdest interaction you would ever had in your life? Wouldn't you be like, "What just happened? Why did she call me to tell me she wants me to stop texting her and she's tired?" Like it's so weird. Like, why didn't you just text it? The only way I get this is when you're like texting me a lot and I get frustrated and I call because I'm like I can't. I have too many things to say. My fingers aren't working fast enough. I'm irritated. I just have to say them. I know how millennial of me, right? Like that ages me that I'm like, no, pick up your phone instead. But I have to say that was just like such a weird. That was a horrible idea, Julian. You're a moron.
he's an idiot.
Called from a phone that wasn't yours. So stupid. I told you to stop texting me. Didn't you already chuck the phone, you moron? And he was so stupid. Stop. You've got to stop texting me. That's what he said. You've got to stop texting me. Like, I'm like, if that ain't the most boomer thing I've ever heard in my life, it's like Hank Hill said it. Like, I can't. It's too much. It's too much. So that's another reason why Julian's an idiot. He was really bad at this. He was really, really bad at this. And I loved how he was like, "I'm going to sue your behind off." And then she's like, "Well, you." And then she goes, "Well, you killed someone." He's like, "No, I didn't." She's like, "Well, I'll say you did." And I was
I
like,
say you
"Oh,
did.
oh God." That's when I was like, "Whoa, here she is. She's
Mhm.
unhinged." That was peak.
I hollered when they're over here and he's saying, "If you lay one finger on him," and while he's saying that, he's pretty much getting punched in his face at the same time.
Don don't play.
He spit that address out so fast. I was laughing so hard.
He does not play.
Oh, the way he spit that address out after he got punched was just too much. I couldn't deal.
Yeah.
I was like, he's a wuss and an idiot and a thief and a liar and just all the
Thank God he
things.
got caught. What a moron. Thank God.
Oh, Gabby Mosely always has time.
Except when she's in her basement. When she's busy. Every day you're gonna wake up and wonder, does Gabby Mosely have time today? Get out of here. Get out of here, Janessa. Get out of here. I can't. I can't. All right. So, do you have anything else to add to this? I okay, I should
um,
say the doorman date thing, very cute.
yes.
Very
I
cute.
was like,
Super cute.
get your man. Get your
I
man.
was like, yeah. Yeah, horrible niece. Way to finally step up and admit what's actually happening. The doorman knows him better than you.
Mhm.
To be fair, the doorman was in love with him, so
Completely.
he
Oh, it
couldn't
was so
compete with that.
cute. It was so
That was
cute.
it was very, very cute. So it was a sweet ending to the story. I really
Yes.
enjoyed that.
I just
But
wanted to say that, sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
So I know I said I was frustrated with like Gabby just even listening to anything that comes out of Sir's mouth. But then on the other hand, I was just completely livid that because of something this idiot lied to her and said that she started being mean to Lacey. I was like, what? I just wanted to shake her a few times.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. And Lacey knew something was wrong and didn't know what she had done. It was pretty sad. Um, Janessa said, I just want to say I'm still laughing my behind off at Sir's temper tantrum when he packed the box. I know. He was so mad.
He was
He's a
so
baby.
mad.
He's a big baby.
And then he said, did he say her whole name or did he say Gabby? He didn't say Gabby, did he?
I don't remember. I should know because I
Oh,
literally just watched it again. But anyway,
yeah, I feel like he said
so
her whole name. But Mitchell said Margaret can discover hidden love. Yes, she can. She can.
oh
That woman
yeah,
is just so good at her job.
Mitchell, it's the same thing on Lie to Me.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You're gonna love it.
Which is probably why I honed in on Margaret so much because I loved Lie to Me.
It's so good. All right. So I think this is a good time to wrap this on up. Thank you everybody for being here in live chat.
Thank you
So fun
guys.
to chat with you guys and to get your input. And oh yeah,
Oh,
he
he
only calls
never
her
calls
Gabby.
her
Yeah.
Gabby. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right, Janessa. We appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate your input and your feedback on this. And for us to have a live audience while we talk about this because you know, it's weird when we don't.
Yeah.
It's very weird. There's no one to interact with. So thank you. Um, we will be back next week. Oh, I didn't look up the episode name. Okay, hold on. Let's look up the episode name. Can't do that to you.
I've
It's
been
going
like
to be missing wow something because that's how the
I've been
episodes go.
I've been cheating on getting my NBC Live every week
Have you?
using different email addresses and stuff.
Oh, she's clever. She's clever, folks. Okay, it is going to be episode 4 will be written by Zoe Marshall, to be announced on the direction. Don't know who's directing it, which is
Oh,
unusual because
okay.
it would already have been filmed. Uh,
Right.
Missing While a Pawn is the name of next week's episode. A pawn. So that'll be
Mm.
interesting. I'm gonna go with it's a pun, and it's one of those chess players from the park.
Um, did you watch the preview?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I won't say what I think it is because I'm pretty sure it is what I think it is because I saw the
Well, you watched
preview.
the preview, so all right. Okay. So we'll end it here. Thank you again, all of you beautiful, beautiful people, for being here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Janessa, Mitchell, Lois, thank you for watching and interacting with us. And I guess despite how old I am, I will continue to live tweet with you guys on Tuesdays, even though it makes me want to die the next day. So I'll continue to do that, and then we'll be here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. until the end of the show, I believe. Pending any other weird situations, but there's no other giant conventions that I should be going to for work, so I think we're in the clear for a while. So, all right. All right, love you
We
guys.
still may.
Make sure to like,
Bye,
subscribe, do
everyone.
all of the things, but we love you and
All
we'll
of the
see you next week.
things.
Bye.
Bye.